All right, here with their reaction, longtime advisor for President Donald Trump and former executive director, National Diversity Coalition for Trump, Bruce LeVell, and ambassador, America First Policy Institute, and Newsmax contributor, Jessie Jane Duff. Jessie, we were just talking about the legal elements here, but there's some political elements going on as well. Give us your read on that.
Is completely political. I mean, the very day that Joe Biden's family is being exposed by the Oversight Committee for having committed all of the crimes that they have with the money laundering that's going on. And here we have President Trump getting indicted. It's just absurd. They're digging and grasping at straws. Everyone knows that this man had the authority to have classified documents because in his possession, as the commander-in-chief, they can be declassified. I heard your previous guests questioning, why would he have these documents? I'm sorry, that is not the standard. The standard is the Presidential Act that allows him to obtain and hold these. We know that the DOJ is grasping at straws. We know that they're digging through every single law that they can try to manipulate, bend, or maneuver. At the end of the day, Joe Biden and his DOJ is having political warfare with the #1 opponent and threat to him being reelected in 2024.
All right, Bruce LeVell, your take on this. And I just want to show you, Bob and I both got copies of the unsealed indictment, pretty hefty, again, 49 pages in here. We're printed on both sides here. But again, a lot to get through. But your take again on the political angle, as Bob asked Jessie Jane.
Yeah, my political angle is like this. I speak, and I quote, on behalf of the 80+ million voters that voted for Donald John Trump in 2020. So I'm going to be that spokesperson right now. And to Jessie's point, the president has the authority to declassify the documents. You know, this reminds me of when I used to serve in the on the police board. I remember we used to have these very anxious DAs. They call it loading the wagon. And basically, they go get all these charges and throw it out there, knowing good and well they won't stick. But here's the sad part about this whole situation here. How the DA, especially Jack Smith, and especially that fake Fannie Willis down here in Fulton, yes, fake, that's going out and shaking down other innocent employees and folks who are around that and shaking them, going through their backgrounds and their families and trying to find something on them that they can shake them up and get them to roll or turn or say something that they want to say. This is the bad part. You know, I saw this weekend on Trump's attorney. He says, you know, they said, well, no one's above the law, George Stephanopoulos. Newsflash, no one's below the law, the way this is turning out. And real quick, and Newsmax viewers, there is no, quote, person that served in the Oval Office than Donald John Trump, next to Reagan, and I'm dating myself, that has been the most patriotic president in the nation's history. So we're talking about these documents. Are you worried about him going to sell them to someone or sell? No. So there's never been a thought brought up about him being dishonest or him being just not patriotic to the U.S.
Yeah.
So we know this is political assassination on the Biden's administration. But listen, let me say this real quick, Bob and Katrina.
Yeah.
You heard this from me. Stay tuned. This darkness is about to come to light. And I'll tell you, Jack Smith and everyone watching this, you will reap what you sow.
Yeah. Obviously, though, what they try to do in these cases is to intimidate anybody at the receiving end of these documents. And let me give you an example. They list here the penalties for the violations. They have a penalty sheet. They say it'll take 21 days to try this case, an estimate, obviously. And also penalty sheet, the willful retention of national defense information, 10 years in prison. To conspiracy to obstruct justice, 20 years. Count 33. Withholding a document or record, 20 years. So, I mean, this is what they're, and it goes on, and there are a total of 38 counts.
May I jump in? May I jump in? I really believe that they know exactly what they're doing. It's not about actually winning this case.
Right.
What they're doing is getting a lot of these milquetoast Republicans who don't have a spine to start saying this is too controversial, and they will turn a blind eye to what the Department of Justice, Joe Biden's Department of Justice, is doing and allow this egregious offense against the Republic because they don't want to deal with controversy. They want to stand back in the shadows. Your Mike Pence is out there. I'm sorry. How could you be so unloyal and stand there and try to go after the sitting president that gave you your name? What about, oh gosh, Chris Christie, who was a prosecutor? All of them have their personal grievances, and they are not standing up for this republic. And that is what's so shameful.
All right, we're going to have to leave it there. Jessie Jane Duff, Bruce LeVell, always great to have both of you.
No,
with
I
us.
don't
Thank
want to
you.
let it go. I want to keep talking about it.
All right. We'll read your tweets. All right. Thank you so much, Bruce and Jessie Jane. Appreciate it.
Thank you.